What's up, guys? It is none other than your boy JGiddins, the father here. I want to thank you guys for visiting my page, subscribing and liking. Make sure to be positive, optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle, as that is necessary to ensure that you have a positive future. Today's video's topic is about changing the name YangGang for our movement for the campaign. So a fellow YouTuber by the name of Garibay, I'll put his link in the description so you guys can see the original video that inspired this post. He was pretty much talking about the idea behind changing the YangGang name. The first thing I want to say is thank you, J. Scott, for that post, because it sort of inspire creative discussion. You know, anytime that you're having a creative discussion, that's always productive, and that's something, you know, that helps us kind of get a different perspective of what everybody thinks. Kind of let us get some insight into what YangGang means to all of us. So first off, I want to definitely thank you for that. It also allows us some time to sort of self-reflect on what the YangGang is to us, and you know, just what it means in general. I will have to say, unfortunately, that I do disagree with the position behind changing the YangGang name, and it's for really a couple different reasons. I mean, I did a quick video on Twitter earlier where I sort of explained to everybody that I was going to do this video, and two words that I use to describe my position on it is shallow and weak, right? Now, I say shallow because it seems like we would be changing the name YangGang because of what we think people think of it, right? It's sort of like if someone wanted to change their appearance because they don't think that people think that they're cool, or they want to, you know, sort of fit in with, you know, the popular kids at school. So that's what I mean when I say shallow, because at the end of the day, a lot of the explanations that people have given in terms of why they think the name should be changed revolved around what other people think of the name. And, you know, to a degree, I feel like it sort of contradicts the message that the YangGang is meant to send out. This entire ideology that we have of the freedom dividend, of you know, humanity first, trying to treat everybody equally, raising the bar of what, you know, basic necessities should require, or basic allowances of people just for being human should be. That entire perspective that we have is one that goes against the grain. So to change the name YangGang because of the fact that we think that it's going against the grain too much, or you know, J. Scott also mentioned that he felt that there were certain perspectives that people would have in terms of the name gang, right, or the word gang, right? He was saying there's too many negative connotations or associations with the word gang. As a black male who grew up in, you know, projects, hood, ghetto, whatever you want to use to describe it, I can tell you I am familiar with the negative associations with the word gang. Now, what I would also say, you know, it's a little bit deep to me when I think about it. What are words, right? Words are just meant to control the mind, right? It's just meant to control somebody's mind. If I say tree, it's meant to put the image of a bark and plants growing out of a brown cylinder shaped, you know, I say tree and your brain thinks tree. I say car and you think four wheels and metal, right? So it's meant to just sort of put an image in your brain. So when you say gang, or when you say any word for that matter, people are gonna resonate in their mind with whatever they associate it with. What I think makes you stand out is your modifying of that perception that they have. So I think it actually helps invigorate the YangGang that we could stand for principles. You know, the fact that we are a YangGang that actually has morals, it sort of will, I don't know, create sort of its own value in terms of how people will view it. At least that's the way it came off to me. You know, before I became YangGang and I just heard the name YangGang, I thought to myself, like, you know, I thought about like what's that, Yakuza, the Japanese gang. I thought about that and I was like, YangGang. But then I started seeing what people were about, what it meant to people, and it sort of hit me harder than I think it would have had it been some politically correct, you know, name. I think that we really should stick with our guns. I said shallow and weak, so I described shallow. Now weak, I feel like it would be weak because we're so solidified in our name. Everybody knows what YangGang is. It's been on the media. I know you can say that this is still early, but it's been in the media. There's millions of views on videos where we're describing the YangGang. Andrew Yang himself has come out and said Yang Gang. We are too solidified to just change it on the basis of, well, what if people don't like it? I just feel I do understand the ideology behind wanting to conform to what the masses would want you to, in terms of changing the name. But I just think that it's going to be kind of hard to dodge being viewed as weak. It's going to be like, oh, those Yang Gang guys that couldn't hold up as Yang Gang, so they changed their name. I just think there's a negative association with doing that. I will say that I did like YangNation. I think YangNation is a good one, but what I would say about that is I don't see any reason why we can't sort of have, whether it be, I guess, considered a faction or, just different sections or classes or, I don't know, different groups within the Yang Gang that we could have that sort of have their own initiatives and purposes. Even gangs have, different sub-levels to those. Not to say that we're a gang, okay? But, again, I just think that changing the name in general, I don't think it would be a good idea. I do enjoy the fact that we can entertain the conversation because you can hear what it means to so many people. So many people who argue against changing the name Yang Gang are arguing because of what its current existence means to them. And I am one of those people. The Yang Gang is everything to me. I don't want to change the name. Not on the basis of, well, what if people don't like it? And I do understand that, and it's not just about people not liking it. Jay Scott went a little bit deeper, and I think what he was trying to touch on was the fact that we're going to be inviting people to the Yang Gang who aren't really gang-able, right? If that makes any sense. So more conservative type people who aren't really going to want to associate their name with the word gang, and I take it back to what I said about being shallow. I think if those people, if the humanity first perspective behind the movement that we have is not able to scream loud enough within them and uprise above the shallow nature of saying, well, that word makes me not want to be associated, I think they don't belong with us to begin with. The Yang Gang is strong. We have to stand strong and believe in what we believe in. We are the Yang Gang. We are not the Yang what you want us to be. We are the Yang Gang, and we don't have to explain what the Yang Gang means to someone who is Yang Gang. And someone who stands for what we stand for will be inducted into the Yang Gang. I think if the issues that we are hinting at could be an issue based on more conservative members joining, or those who may not want to align with the beliefs of a word gang, were an issue, then it would already be. I think we've already run into circumstances where there are people who wouldn't fit into that who have already joined, So, I don't know. In closing, I want to say thank you, Jay Scott, for opening up this conversation. This has developed greatly. I saw plenty of people talking about it. I saw plenty of comments on your video where people were opening up talking about it, and it gave us the ability to sort of open up about what the Yang Gang means to us. And it's just creative discussion. It's always good. It's always productive. So thank you for opening up the conversation. In the end, again, I would say that I do disagree. But thank you for the conversation again, because it forces us to grow. It forces us to bring out the sort of family vibe or family nation. I don't want to say family nation, but the family oriented feel of the Yang Gang comes out when we have these type of discussions. It feels like we're at like at a family reunion having a discussion about different family members and having family arguments. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, and even what I'm saying is just my opinion. Obviously, I don't think any of this is set in stone. This is just my perspective based on what the Yang Gang means to me. That's about all I got for you guys. Before I go, I just want to say, if you like this video, please like this video. Please subscribe to my videos. Make sure to share it with anybody you think who is deserving of being a part of the Yang Gang, so that they can know the passion that we all have in this. I thank you guys very much. Be sure to visit my page, patreon.com/JGiddins, to see how you can help me out in furthering the production of these videos. Thank you guys very much again for your views, your likes, your subscribes. Please remember to be positive, optimistic, and always keep positive people in your circle. JGiddins out, baby.